embarking on a journey through the stars, where courage knows no bounds and freedom shines as bright as the rebirth of a phoenix. Today, we are diving headfirst into the remarkable life of one of the rebellion's most inspiring leaders. From her humble beginnings on Ryloth to her pivotal role in the Rebel Alliance, Hera Syndulla's story is one of stalwart determination, fierce loyalty, and a love for the galaxy that knows no bounds. So grab your blasters, check your hyperdrive, and let's dive right into the saga of Hera Syndulla. Be vigilant day and night.
Chase your tail light. I'll be under your skin, letting you go for a while. Then I'm taking you in. Your fists like diamonds, a glimmer and punch. Shiny predator with a golden gun. Space age girl machine. 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 Space age girl machine.
What's up, nerdlings, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Danny Santasy, licensed cosmetologist and registered super nerd, and this here is Comics and Cosmetics, the channel where I spill all the nerdy tea on our favorite costume crusaders while doing my makeup at the same time. Well, you nerds, watch. Before we go any further, make sure we sacrifice to our algorithm overlords and blast that like button. Send that subscribe button off to a galaxy far, far away. And make sure that you have that notification bell rung so you get notified whenever I'm back with another one of these crazy videos. If you are interested in the products that I'm using today, please check the description below. Not only do I have an entire complete list for you, I have done all the hard work. You don't have to search for them, for I have linked them as well. If you're new, welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by. I do hope you will follow us on all the socials. Links are below as per usual. And if you like the content that I'm putting out there and you want to help support this channel, I have several options below as well. We have this handy QR code right here where you can tip me as little or as much as you like. I also have a merch store right here. See this super sweet shirt? Ooh. We have mugs, t-shirts, totes, magnets, stickers, you name it. If you can use it and slap my logo on it, chances are it is there in the merch store below. We also have Patreon with 3 different tiers starting as little as $3 a month, with your first week totally free. Every tier gets merch every 3 months, and the higher your nerdling tier, the sweeter your merch is. This week, as I'm sure you'll remember from about 35 seconds ago, we are talking about the one, the only, the superiorly awesome Hera Syndulla. Hera Syndulla is a character created by Dave Filoni for the animated series Star Wars Rebels, which premiered October 3rd, 2014. She was voiced by Vanessa Marshall, who actually reprised the role of Hera in Star Wars The Bad Batch in Season 1 when she portrayed the younger version of Hera. A lot of people didn't believe it. They kind of started a campaign like, why'd you replace Vanessa Marshall? And they didn't replace her. She just used a thicker French accent because that is the accent of the Twi'lek people on Ryloth, which is where Hera is from. That's all that was. It was still Vanessa Marshall. So Hera's life on Ryloth was a symphony of vibrant colors and rich tradition. Born into the Twi'lek culture, she was raised in a tight-knit community nestled among the rocky outcrop and lush valleys of her homeworld. The Twi'leks, with their distinctive head tails called Leku and their very natural, graceful nature, had a culture steeped in music, dance, and a deep spirituality. From a very young age, Hera found herself immersed in the rhythms of Ryloth. The lilting melodies of the traditional Twi'lek music echoed through the streets of her village. Her father, Hera Syndulla, was a prominent freedom fighter. In fact, he was a general who often played a hauntingly beautiful Twi'lek flute, which seemed to really encapsulate the very essence of their world. Hera's mother, Eleni, a very wise and nurturing presence, instilled in Hera a very deep appreciation for their heritage. One of the defining aspects of Hera's early life was the unyielding Twi'lek spirit. The Twi'leks were known for their resilience in adversity, a trait deeply ingrained in Hera's character. It was this spirit that allowed the people to endure the harsh conditions of Ryloth, a planet that was subjected to scorching heat during the day and below freezing temperatures at night. Hera's family was the cornerstone of her world. Her father, Cham, and his wife, Eleni, nurtured her with love and wisdom. She had her uncle, who I don't know if they were actually blood related, that kind of uncle, or just someone she has known her whole life. You know, you have aunties and uncles that aren't really related to you, but his name was Orn Free Ta, and he was the galactic senator that was in charge of Ryloth, you know, kind of like the overseer of Ryloth. He provided for Hera kind of a window to the wider galaxy and politics beyond Ryloth. Hera's home was a haven of warmth and learning, where stories of heroism and rebellion were passed down through generations. Beyond her family, like I said, she lived in a very close-knit community. Twi'leks looked out for one another. Their bonds were forged through these shared struggles, from bioluminescent festivals that painted the night sky to the solemn ceremonies honoring their ancestors. They did this all together. But even in this idyllic setting, there were echoes of a very troubled past. Ryloth had a painful history of exploitation. The Twi'leks had been subjected to slavery and oppression from various factions. Like, it wasn't just one group or people that would come and oppress and enslave the Twi'leks. No, this was a history of being oppressed by many factions. These included the Hutts and the Galactic Empire. Her father, Cham, the freedom fighter we mentioned earlier, was a heroic figure on Ryloth. He was well known and well respected because he had led many a resistance against these various oppressors. This made Hera's upbringing a very unique blend of cultural appreciation and political awareness. As Hera grew, she became more and more aware of the challenges that her people faced. She saw her father's dedication to freedom and all the sacrifices that he had made. These experiences instilled in her a sense of responsibility and a desire to really make a difference in the galaxy. Despite her love for her home of Ryloth, Hera's heart was drawn to the stars above. Ryloth's twin suns cast absolutely beautiful and brilliant hues across the sky, igniting a sense of deep wonder in her. She spent countless nights gazing up at that sky, counting the stars, naming the constellations, dreaming of a life up there. Her father's stories of adventure in a wider galaxy with its diverse worlds, cultures, further fueled her wanderlust. She yearned to explore and see new horizons beyond the arid deserts and rocky terrain of Ryloth. In this nurturing yet complex environment, Hera Syndulla's character was forged. She was a Twi'lek, deeply connected to her roots, but she was also a dreamer with an unquenchable thirst for freedom and that adventure her father told her all about. Little did she know that her journey would lead her to become one of the galaxy's greatest and most inspiring heroes, a symbol of hope for the oppressed, and an absolutely fearless leader against the Empire. Go Hera! Go Hera! One night, while Hera was gazing up at those stars, she saw an X-Wing crash near her home. When she went and inspected the crash, she found a damaged astromech whose designation was C-110P. Oh, this guy. She actually repairs him because she's super, super smart, very mechanically inclined, and she nicknames him Chopper. I love Chopper. I really do. Chopper is the sassiest droid in all the galaxy, and I love him for it. When the Empire took over, Hera's father, General Cham, really thought that there was going to be peace at last on Ryloth. He had hoped that his days of fighting were done. He had hoped that his days of fighting for Ryloth itself, for the sake of Ryloth, would be over, that Ryloth would be able to chill, so to speak. But it wasn't the case. Remember I said that Hera's uncle, Ornfree, was the senator. He was kind of in charge of Ryloth. Well, he was pretty shady and really he was just out for himself, to be perfectly honest, and pretty jealous of how much the Twi'lek people of Ryloth really looked up to, respected, and admired Cham Syndulla. Her other uncle, again, I don't think they're blood related at all, but he's an old friend and compatriot of her father, Cham. He had been teaching her how to fly. She was desperately wanting to be a pilot, and she wanted to be involved in everything anyway. Well, her father had instructed Hera, no more going off on missions and fighting. We're done. The Empire's in charge now. We're going to be at peace. The Empire is dedicated to a successful Ryloth. Well, she went with her uncle on a supply mission. He assures her it's a supply mission. So they get there, and it's weapons. She finds out that he had taken her on this run to pick up weapons, some blasters, some thermal detonators.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
And she was like, but I thought that we had already turned over all of our weapons to the Empire. And her uncle's like, for now. So they pick up these weapons, and they happen to be buying them from Clone Force 99, the Bad Batch. Hunter, Hit, Omega. I love the Kiwi accent. It's my favorite. Hera makes friends with Omega, and Omega gives her, pretty much their space phone number in case of emergencies. Call me, girl. Let me know if you need anything. Well, the Empire and Ornfree wanted to get rid of Cham Syndulla. They really did. They knew how much the people admired him and listened to him, and they were afraid that if he decided, okay, we're rebelling against this, then the people will just straight up do that. So they needed to get rid of him. But he hadn't done anything. Like, he hadn't really committed any crimes. So they didn't have any legit reasons to take him out or get rid of him. But they wanted one. They just knew it wasn't going to fly if they didn't have a good legal reason to do so. So cut to his daughter, Hera, in the middle of an arms deal, pretty much, in the middle of the, Rylothian desert with her uncle. And they get pinched. They get caught by the cops. And Hera gets away. However, they put out an alert that they're looking for her. Her parents, of course, find out that this APB has been put out for their daughter, and they want to help her. But in that process, they get caught by the Empire. Here her father was encouraging everyone to go along to get along with the Empire. There are galactic overlords now. Everybody's used to this. Hopefully we can make the best of the situation. And now he's sitting in prison on Ryloth because his his daughter was buying weapons. Whoops. Hera finds out that her father Cham and her mother Lenny have been imprisoned for things she did, so she calls Omega. She calls her new friend Omega and Clone Force 99 to come and help. And they do. Clone Force 99 comes, they help her parents escape, and then help them go into hiding. Unfortunately, later on, her mother would die fighting with the resistance for a free Ryloth while also hiding her daughter Hera underground. Hera's longing for adventure and freedom just only grew. The older she got, her relationship with her father would become more and more strained because they had two different ideas on how to fight for the freedom of Ryloth. The galaxy held a promise that Hera just could no longer resist. She wanted to get out there, see what she could discover on her own. It was during this phase of her life that she would embark on a journey that would forever change her destiny and that of the galaxy itself. Unable to see eye to eye with her father's tactic, fighting the Empire, Hera and Chopper left Ryloth on board her ship, the Ghost. As she left painful memories of her past behind, she consciously trained herself to lose her Twi'lek accent, that sick French accent that the Twi'lek have. It was also the accent she shared with her deceased mother and her estranged father. It was this conscious act of letting her childhood go. That's why she sounds so different in the Bad Batch as opposed to Rebels. Occasionally, you can catch her French accent sliding out again. It's usually when she is angry or agitated. Anytime that she loses focus, that French accent will come out again. And this is most definitely an accent that George Lucas himself insisted that the Twi'lek have. 6 years before the events of Star Wars Rebels, in the vast expanse of the galaxy on a planet named Gorath. Star Wars names. Am I right? 6 years before we officially meet her on Rebels, her path intersects with that of one Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi Knight that survived the Great Purge, or Order 66, as it is known, and only a rare few actually survived Order 66. A rare few, just a couple. At this time in Kanan's life, he was a disillusioned drunk. He wasn't the man we came to know and admire much later. Hera was a brash, young, headstrong, super confident pilot, just absolutely ready to take on the galaxy. Kanan was pretty much ready to give it up. Their meeting was a serendipitous chance encounter on a distant world. Kanan, a guild Jedi, living in hiding, doing his best to avoid the watchful eye of the Empire. There was something that they had in common. Neither one were big fans of the Empire. Their initial encounter, as I'm sure you could probably guess, was marred with a clashing of very, very different yet strong personality. Kanan was still coming to terms with his role as an estranged Jedi in hiding. He was very cautious, reserved, while Hera pretty much exuded confidence and determination with every single step. However, beneath the surface, they both recognized that shared sense of purpose to absolutely resist the tyranny of the Empire by any means. Their partnership would grow over time amongst crew members that they would later collect. They were pretty discreet about it, because if there was one thing that they could completely agree on, is that the fight for the galaxy came first and foremost. Their love for one another came second. In their travels, they encountered individuals from various walks of life, all with their own oppression from the Empire stories. These encounters deepened their commitment to the burgeoning rebellion. Hera's natural leadership abilities and Kanan's Jedi training made them one hell of a team. Hera's journey from a young Twi'lek dreaming of the stars to becoming the respected general in the Resistance in the fight against the Galactic Empire is a testament to her unwavering dedication and leadership prowess. And Hera's leadership skills did not go unnoticed within the growing rebellion. Her natural ability to inspire others, make tough decisions, and strategize effectively marked her as kind of a rising star within the ranks. As the rebellion started to really gain momentum, Hera found herself in a uniquely pivotal role, coordinating missions and basically ensuring the survival of the fledgling Rebel Alliance. Hera's role was further solidified by the formation of the Ghost Crew, aka the Spectres, a diverse group of individuals drawn together, united by their common goal of resisting the Galactic Empire. Under Hera's guidance, the motley crew became a well-oiled machine, striking critical blows against their Imperial foes. Look at that. I'm going to write a song about it. Hera and the Ghost Crew. Kanan continued to play a crucial role. His Jedi abilities, coupled with Hera's strategic genius, made them pretty formidable. It was together that they trained the crew, orchestrated daring missions that challenged the Empire's dominance. Hera cultivated amongst her crew tight familial bonds that would last a lifetime. Each member brought a very unique set of skills, quirks, and backgrounds, but it was Hera's exceptional leadership that melded them into this very tight-knit family. Sabine Wren, who we have done a breakdown on, is a Mandalorian, a royal Mandalorian to be exact. She's Lady Sabine Wren. She's an explosives expert as well as a pretty sweet artist. In fact, it was her design of the Phoenix Squadron logo that went on to become the symbol of the rebellion. Hera's friendship with Sabine was a testament to her ability to bring out the absolute best in those around her. Sabine's explosives talent and her artistic nature brought a lot of color to the Ghost Crew, to say the least, not to put too fine a point on it. Her support and encouragement really helped Sabine overcome her past and embrace her role as a key member of the rebellion. Hera's unwavering faith in Sabine's abilities as a warrior and an artist really solidified their sisterly bond. Of course, there's Garazeb Zebarelios, a Lesset warrior. Zeb's gruff exterior and warrior's pride clash with the rest of the crew rather frequently, but Hera, she was always the glue that held them all together, that got everyone back on track. She saw the wounded soul beneath Zeb's rough exterior, helped him find a sense of purpose and identity beyond being the last of his kind, which had to be rough on him. I'm sure he was crabby. I mean, hello. Her leadership and diplomacy skills really helped her in smoothing relations between the crew, smoothing conflicts among the crew, mostly conflicts started by Zeb. Of course, she still has Chopper, her little astromech that she brought back to life. I mean, he did have a very special place in her heart and ours. It was very much like a little brother kind of thing. It was full of affection and exasperation. Despite his mischievous antic and tendency to speak his mind through his little characteristic wah-wah-wah-wah-wahs voiced by Dave Filoni, Hera regarded him not only as an indispensable member of the crew, but as I said, also a little brother. Her patience with Chopper's quirks demonstrated her ability to see the good and value in every member, regardless of form or species. The last member to join the crew, of course, is Ezra Bridger. While Ezra's journey started off as Hera's reluctant recruit, he quickly became like a son to her. And that was pretty much the dynamic on the Ghost. It was a family, with Kanan being kind of the dad and Hera being mother. Hera's maternal instincts really kicked in as she assisted in guiding him through the perils of being a Jedi in training. She offered not only wisdom, but also a sense of belonging to Ezra. Their relationship was one that was built upon trust, and Hera was often the voice of reason that kept Ezra grounded, especially in times of uncertainty. Beyond these individual relationships, Hera's leadership style was a common thread that wove the Ghost crew together. She led by example, always putting the needs of the mission and the crew before herself, like a mom. Her guidance was a compass for the crew, providing direction and purpose in a galaxy that was torn apart by conflict. Her unwavering dedication to the Rebel Alliance and the well-being of the crew inspired loyalty and a sense of unity that transcended their diverse backgrounds. These relationships built on trust, support, and shared commitment to the rebel cause were the heart and soul of the Ghost crew and the driving force behind the heroic endeavors in a galaxy far, far away. Now, the relationship between Hera Syndulla and Ahsoka Tano, evolving from their initial interactions as a rebel spy codenamed Fulcrum to their collaboration in the newly formed Galactic Republic, is a remarkable journey built on, well, again, trust, shared values, and stalwart dedication to the cause of freedom. Their first interactions were very much so shrouded in secrecy. Hera didn't even know that Fulcrum was a woman. Over time, through many successful missions, Hera had impressed Fulcrum and Bail Organa, who Fulcrum was working with, impressed them enough to reveal her actual identity. This revelation had a profound effect on Hera and the crew. Like, holy, isn't that Anakin Skywalker's old Padawan? What did he call her? Yes, Snips. That's it. He called her Snip. I mean, here they are working with someone who is in this deep and has been in this for quite some time. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, Hera and Ahsoka worked together in the early stages of reestablishing the Galactic Republic. Hera's leadership, as her leadership would extend beyond that of the Ghost crew, Senator Bail Organa was so impressed with her work on Fulcrum that he brought her onto Phoenix Squadron, where she became the leader. No surprise there. She played a vital role in the rebellion's reach, forging alliances with various groups like the Mon Calamari, the Wookiees, other oppressed species. Her diplomatic skills were every bit as sharp as her tactical acumen. This made her a key figure in uniting disparate factions under a common banner. The fight against the Empire was not without cost. It came at a high price, and Hera understood this better than most. She faced heart-wrenching losses, including the death of Kanan Jarrus, her partner, and later we found father of her unborn son, Jason. Kanan's sacrifice fueled Hera's determination. She became more determined than ever to see the rebellion through the end. She now carried the weight of his legacy on her shoulders. Kanan sacrificed himself to save his entire crew, and Hera was not going to let that be in vain. Then there was the loss of Ezra Bridger, who also sacrificed himself to protect the galaxy from Grand Admiral Thrawn. He actually, with the help of the Purgle and the Force, moves Thrawn off the chessboard. He takes him to a totally different galaxy so that the rebellion could actually stand a chance. Where these losses deeply wounded Hera, I mean, she felt them to the core of her very being. She allowed it to galvanize her rather than destroy her. Hera's leadership wasn't all about strategy. It was about embodying the hope that fueled the rebellion. Her unwavering commitment to the cause, even in the face of adversity and loss, made her a symbol of hope for countless beings across the galaxy. Her presence on the battlefield was a rallying cry for those who yearned for freedom. She was part of the most significant battles in galactic history. As a general in the Republic Army, she played a crucial role in virtually every significant battle. But her journey didn't end with the fall of the Empire. She continued to play a vital role in the post-war galaxy, working to restore peace and justice everywhere. Her leadership extended beyond the battlefield as she became a respected diplomat and advocate for the rights of all species. Her legacy as a general and symbol of hope was firmly established. Her commitment to the cause of freedom left an indelible mark on the galaxy. reminding everyone that even in the darkest of times, one individual's determination could spark a revolution. Where have I heard this before? Rebellions are built on hope. With the fall of the Empire, the galaxy faced the monumental task of rebuilding. Hera, now a seasoned general, turned her attentions to the reconstruction efforts. Her organizational skills, honed during the days of the rebellion, proved invaluable as she worked tirelessly to restore war-torn worlds and help displaced beings find their footing once more. As a now single mother to son Jason Syndulla, Hera faced the unique challenges of parenthood in a galaxy still grappling with the scars of war. She strived to provide Jason with a nurturing environment while imparting the values of courage, compassion, and resilience, much like her own parents did. The memory of Kanan Jarrus continued to cast a long shadow. She instilled in Jason the importance of his father's Jedi heritage and the responsibility that comes with that. Hera ensured that Kanan's legacy lived on through stories, lessons, and tales of his heroism and sacrifice. Her post-war endeavors in the realm of diplomacy extended onto advocacy. Her experiences as a leader general in the Republic Army during the rebellion made her a very respected figure in the political landscape. She worked tirelessly to promote cooperation and understanding among species and factions alike. She strove endlessly to prevent future conflict, much like her father did. Despite the galaxy's collective desires for peace, remnants of the Empire and new threats emerged. This is why we can't have nice things. Hera found herself once again called to action, this time as a diplomat and peacemaker. Her ability to navigate the treacherous political waters and her ability to maintain her commitment to justice proved to be instrumental in addressing these conflicts and challenges. Hera's post-war life saw the return of old friends and allies, each carrying new experiences of their own lives post-war. These reunions were bittersweet, however. They served as a reminder of the sacrifices made and the enduring bonds forged during their time in the rebellion. Hera's life is a testament to the enduring impact one individual can have on the fate of an entire galaxy. Her journey from a young Twi'lek on Ryloth to respected general and mentor exemplified the power, courage, compassion, and commitment to justice. Her journey from a young Twi'lek on Ryloth to a respected general and mentor really exemplifies the power of courage, compassion, and commitment to justice. I, for one, really look forward to exploring her more as a general in the Republic Army and as a mother of, I'm hoping, a budding Force-sensitive Jedi. And so far from what I'm seeing on the Ahsoka show, she still exudes very much that mother, that mentor, that unconditional love that she has for her people, for her republic, but also no nonsense. She's a mama bear. She'll cut you, okay? She will fly the ghost right up your starfish if you cross her. I have enjoyed Mary Elizabeth Winstead's portrayal of Hera so far in live action. Mrs. Obi-Wan Kenobi, aka. I think she's nailing Hera's personality. And you have to remember that we're not in the Rebels era anymore. This is years later. They've won the war, and now they are trying to establish a foothold as a galactic government and put the pieces back together. And she's also doing this while raising a child that she had with the love of her life that didn't even get to know. At least he didn't tell her, if he did know. She didn't even get to share the joy of the pregnancy with him. But Hera has always been an expert at compartmentalizing her emotions and prioritizing her life. Right now, for her, getting the Galactic Republic established and solidified is her main goal for her son, Jason. She wants this galaxy to be a safe and joyful place, a nurturing space for Jason to grow up in. That is always going to be her number one priority. You guys know I love Star Wars. You know I love Rebels. So I'm looking forward to see what more Dave Filoni has for us on her character. I can't wait to see her grow more. Well, that's all I have for you nerds today on General Hera Syndulla and my Hera Syndulla look that took some doing. Yeah, took some doing. But here we are. I've got it. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out, please do me a favor and sacrifice a like to the algorithm overlords. Make sure you're still subscribed and you have that notification bell rung so you get notified whenever I'm back with another one of these why is she doing this videos. If you would like to help support the channel, again, please check the description below. I have several different options and merch. Also, again, all the products I use today are listed and linked for your convenience. As always, I've been Danny Sansi. You've been awesome. Have a wizard weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Stay nerdy, babies. Bye.